everyone, and welcome once again to Zobi's DIY. Today we're going to be making a mini crate shelf, and we're going to be needing a couple of things that you can also purchase at the Dollar Tree or you can purchase at Walmart or Michael's. For this project, we're going to be needing 2 small crates. You can use both the same size, or you can use one longer and the other smaller. I used longer and smaller. We're going to need 4 of the wooden cubes, and then a multi-cutter, and also a coat hanger. You want to get the one that it's the one that has a straight line, and then some brown acrylic paint, and then a paint cup, also glue and glue stick. Alrighty, so let's get started. So we're starting with the coat hanger, and we're gonna cut half along the middle, just right here. Use the multi-cutter for this. We're gonna cut half along this side and then this side. But first we're gonna go ahead and cut the head of the hanger. And if you have one of these tools, just be careful when you are using it. So we're gonna cut along this side right here, and we're gonna put some force in it to cut, just like that. Then we are cutting half of the hanger, and we're starting with this side. So we're cutting just like that right there where the little bubble is, and we're cutting like that, and then we're also cutting the one across from it. So we are just gonna make sure that both sides, so when you do that, it's even. So when you cut it, both pieces would be even. And align it and measure just like that, just to make sure that they're both cut evenly. And it seems that these were, as you can see right here on the bottom, they're cut evenly. And then we're cutting the little hooks as well, and we're gonna save these for a different project. So just cut along the side just like that. And then we're gonna do the same for the other part of the hanger as well. We're gonna cut that little part, and then also we're gonna cut the remaining piece on the bottom. As you can see, we're gonna cut that little part as well for both parts of the hanger. Once you're done cutting both of your sides, they're gonna look like that. We're gonna put it aside for now, and we're gonna go ahead and do the next step. For the crates, we're gonna start painting them brown, and I'm gonna go ahead and use some brown acrylic paint and a little bit of water. We're also gonna dilute it in there as well, and then we're gonna also paint the 4 little cubit squares also. So we're adding a little bit of water in one of the little paint cups, and we're gonna add some brown acrylic paint. I started with a little bit to begin, and then we're gonna mix it really well and add some water. And then once we are mixing it, if we see that there is really runny or it is really liquidy, we can go ahead and add a little bit more. That way it is not too watery like we see here. It's to your preference, but I went ahead and add a little bit more of the brown paint for it to be a little bit more darker. And just like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and paint the crates, and we're gonna paint all of it. We're gonna paint the inside of them as well, and then the sides. The only part that that you don't have to, but it will look nice, is if you paint the bottom. But I painted the whole thing, including the bottom part as well. That way it looks nice and even. Once both crates are all painted and dried, we are adding in place the little cupid squares on the bottom, and I went ahead and added the little squares on the crate that is the longest, the ones that has a hole on the side. So we're gonna place them along the bottom on the 4 sides of the crate, and this is gonna be the crate that it's gonna go on the bottom. Now once that is done, they're gonna look like that, and we're gonna use the 2 parts that we cut from the hanger, and we're gonna go ahead and glue them on the sides of the crates, and we're gonna glue them along the side like this. So we're gonna kind of have place it towards the front, but then we're gonna leave a little bit out. As you can see, some of the hanger is gonna be sticking out like that, but we're gonna place it all on the side like that. We're just gonna make sure that it's even, and that it's gonna be placed sturdy just like that. And we're gonna do the same for both of the sides. And then once we glue both of the sides, then we're gonna go ahead and glue the one on the top, the crate on the top, just like that. Now to make sure that we are gonna be gluing them in the same even side on both of sides of the crates, I'm gonna go ahead and use a pencil, and I'm gonna line up where I'm gonna go and glue that part. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it along the side right there with a pencil, and I'm gonna glue that little part as well. Right now I'm using the glue gun to do the marking, but I end up using a pencil. I noticed that it was more easier to mark the sides evenly to where I'm gonna go ahead and place the glue. But on this case, I measured before I place the piece of the hanger, and then I'm gonna do the same for the other side. Once both sides are glued like so, like you can see here, just like that, I'm gonna go ahead and glue the top crate as well. As you can see, I glued them along the side just like that, and that way it's sturdy, and then I can go ahead and place the one on the top. And then on this one, the same, I'm gonna mark it with the pencil and then glue along the sides. I just want to make sure that I want it leveled and that I want it straight and sturdy, and then also that it's evenly with the other side of the crate. That way it's not crooked, but right there kind of look the markings to where I want it and how straight I want it, and then I mark it, and then I glued that side, and then I did the same thing with the other side. And this is how it's gonna look, you guys. So easy, cute, and fun. I really enjoyed making this cute little crate project. For this next project, we're gonna go ahead and use a couple of things that I bought at Michael's and also at the Dollar Tree. I bought these cute little crates at Michael's. They were actually 99 cents, which I thought it was a great price for each. Also, we're gonna need a coat hanger. This is a baby coat hanger, and we're gonna need some toothpicks, some push pins, black would be preferred, some acrylic paint, brown and red, and then a little cup for the paint. Also, I bought these at Michael's. They're the circles. They're the 3-inch circles. These are the biggest ones that I found that we're going to use. And then I bought a little packet of these little die circles too. This is the 1.5 inches. We're going to be needing 4 of each. So yeah, you guys, so let's get started. We're going to start painting the crates, and we're going to use the brown acrylic paint and red. We're going to mix them really well together, and also we are going to go ahead and add a little bit of water as well. That way it is blended. We don't want it super dark, but we do want it to be more red than brown, kind of making it more like a cherry auburn color, so kind of close to those two colors. So yeah, we're gonna mix very well, and then also dilute it with some water, and we're gonna mix it really good like so. If we need to add more, we can go ahead. I added a little bit of more red. As you can see, it's a little bit still more brown than red, so I'll add a little bit red to make that nice brown cherry color, just like that. This is perfect. This is just the right color. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and paint. And you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell for notifications for my next videos. And also please give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you are liking this video so far, and then also if you have any suggestions of any DIYs that you would like to see. Now for this next step, we're going to go ahead and paint the round wooden circles, and we're going to use just black acrylic paint. We're not going to dilute it in water. We're just going to paint them like that. We do want them dark black. So we're going to pour in some black paint in the little paint cup, and then we're going to start painting. We don't need to paint both sides. If you like, you can, but it's not really necessary. You can just paint just the one side, because we're just going to be needing the one side to be painted black, and then also on the edges. And just like that, we're going to be painting all 4 of the big circles and then the 4 little ones as well. Now for the coat hanger, this is a baby coat hanger that we're using. And again, like in our previous video, I'm going to go ahead and use a multi-cutter, and I'm going to cut the head of the hanger first, just right there. And once again, you guys, if you have this tool, just be careful when you are using it. So we're putting some force, and then we're cutting. It seems that this hanger, for some reason, it's a little bit more harder. So you want to go ahead and put more force and kind of put it more towards the end of the multi-cutter. And then we're cutting the half of the hanger just like that, and then we're also cutting the other half. And again, we're just want to make sure that we are cutting them evenly, and this is one of the most important things, that we are cutting both of them that are even, because they're going to be the ones that is going to be standing for this project. As you can see, I am aligning it and then making sure that both ends are cut evenly. It seems this part is even, but then this part, it's not quite even. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that little part down there. That way it's even with the other side. And once it's cut, I'm going to measure again, and it seems that it's even, both of the parts of the hanger and then the other side. So we're going to put these away. We're going to set it aside for the next step. Now for this step, we're going to go ahead and glue our 2 pieces of coat hanger to the crate, and we're going to glue them diagonally on the crate, kind of facing a little bit down. We're going to make a little cart. So we're going to just level it and make sure that it is leveled to the coat hanger. As you can see, the little side, there's like a little hook that I left. We're just going to make sure that it is in an angle to where I'm going to go ahead and glue it. And I'm going to use a pencil. It seems that with the pencil, once we do line it up, I know where exactly the glue is going to be going. That way when we stick our part of the hanger, it would be exactly in that same position. Once we glue this part, we're going to do the same thing for the other side of the crate. Once both sides are glued together like so, this is how it's gonna look. As you can see, it's a little tilted. The crate is a little tilted down, so it is on a diagonal position. And this is how it's gonna look. So now we're going into the next part. For this part, we're gonna go ahead and glue our wooden circles into our little cart here. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and make some lineups. You're going to draw a line in the center, and this is going to be vertically. Then you're going to draw another line horizontal like this, and then another line diagonal like that. So we're going to go ahead and draw kind of like a pizza pie cut on the circles just like that. And we're going to do this on all 4 of them, the bigger ones. Now we're adding the push pins on all 4 of the circles in the center, and this is going to make our little wheels that we're going to use for our crate cart. So the push pins are a little hard to push in, so we are going to be needing a little bit of force when you push it through, and just be careful not to poke yourself. Once it's done, we're using the toothpicks, but first we're going to start cutting them in half, and we're going to be needing 8 of them, 8 of the half of each toothpick that we're going to start gluing on the wheels once we're done cutting them. And we're going to start gluing them along the lines that we drew earlier, as you can see. And we're gluing the first one, and it's going to go along this line, just like that. And then we're going to put in the toothpick just like that. And we're going to do that all around the circle where we marked our lines with the pencil. So this is how it's going to look. Our little wheel. So cute. We're going to go ahead and repeat the same steps, and we're going to do the same thing with our other circles, just like that. Once that is done, we're also going to use some twine that we're going to glue around the edge of the circle. This makes the circle look more realistic of a little wheel. And once that is done, for the other 2 smaller circles, I only put a little dab of glue in the center, and that is it. I didn't add any of the toothpicks or twine. I noticed that it looks just cute just with a little dab of glue. Then we're going to go ahead and glue the bigger wheels to our little crate cart, and you can poke the push pin in through the coat hanger on the back side, but I noticed that the plastic is really hard and I just decided just to glue it for better, and easier stability. But if you're able to push it through, then you're more than welcome. It would be much better. But in this case, for something more quicker and easier, just, glue the wheel just like that. And again, just make sure that both of the wheels are lined up together. And this is how it's going to look. On the tip of the pin, if you decide to glue it just like I'm doing, just make sure you put some glue on the tip. That way it's not poking out or anything like that. And yeah, you guys, just like that on the back ones. Then we're gluing the 2 smaller circles on the front of the card. And you just need like a good amount of dab of glue that you can go ahead and use on each side. Just make sure that they are both leveled, so when you put it down, it is nice and sturdy. And I also want to mention that I made 2 of these little crate cards with the materials that we used. And I just thought that it would be so cute and fun to have 2 of a kind for them to be side by side with each other. And yeah, you guys, this is the finished look. This is how it's gonna look, just like this. So cute. I love it. I really enjoyed making this craft with you. And you can go ahead and put anything you want. I inserted in the middle like a little separator to put in some of the things that I want to use. You can put anything you want. I used one of them to put some Q-tips, some cotton balls, nail polish, and cotton rounds. And that is it, you guys, for today's video. I really hope you liked both of these cute crafts, and hope you're able to make them as well. And again, please subscribe to my channel. This would help this channel so much, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.